Well, good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stat Sports Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me are members of the Bermuda women's national team who won gold at the Island Games in Guernsey a few weeks ago. I have Coach Kita with me. I have Zakari Turner, and disappeared was Koa Goodchild. Oh, hold on. Koa's like Lee Harvey. She's back. She's back. Well, first of all, ladies, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Coach Kita, let's talk a bit about preparation for this event. I know you wanted to use this as kind of a warm up for the upcoming bigger events for the region, for Bermuda, and so forth. But let's talk a little bit about preparation. A lot of the players that you have at your disposal now are not on island, so it makes it a little difficult, isn't it?
Well, not really, because these players have spent 2 years together, right? So they kind of know each other. It was just a matter of them putting all the little pieces together that we've been working on over the years, right? So that was the easy part for us, helping them just understand how it is that we want to play, and executing the plan. So whilst they are overseas, none of them are new to each other. Some have been together since under 15s. Some have been with us since they were 12 years old. So that wasn't a difficult part for us, because again, we've been to many tournaments together already.
So, Cole, let me ask you, how difficult was it for you to get back in the saddle? I know you were at Howard University. You hadn't played much first team football throughout the year, your first year there. But how difficult was it for you to get back into the flow of things in preparation for the upcoming tournaments and the tournament you took part in?
I think like when I first came back for summer, I came back May 7th, so I had like a good bit of time before the tournament to, I guess, like get back into the flow of things, like you said. Like coming back, I was like kind of nervous. I don't know. I like you said, like I didn't have much game time experience, so like translating or bringing like I didn't have much to bring back. I felt like so I was kind of nervous. Like I hope I can still bring my part to the game that I contribute. But like having the practices before the tournament really helped because all the girls were like really nice and welcoming like usual. So it's really easy to like slip back into like the natural, I guess, expectations of national squad. So I would say it exceeded my expectations because I really thought it was going to be a hard time.
And Zakari, for you, just being called up to train to prepare for the Island Games. What was those moments like for you in the lead up to the tournament? You got on mute. Oh, hold on. All right, good. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I think it was just exciting. It's always an honor to represent the country, and I have a really great group of teammates. So I think I was just excited to get back with the team. I was playing football away in England and Wales, so I felt well prepared for it to get to work pretty much.
Mm. Now, Coach Kita, you got an opportunity to introduce some new players to the squad. Obviously, the next couple of tournaments that you're going to be involved in, the squad's going to have to be a little bigger. How do you think the new players introduced into the squad adapted to, like you said, these ladies who had been around since under 15s?
Oh, it was seamless. It's probably, if you want to say, three players that we had to that we brought in to this group, and it wasn't any. They weren't out of place. Deshae Darrell, who was around 5 years ago, Akila Farbert, who was a little closer, probably 3 years ago, and then Ashley Tudors, who we just brought in from Florida, who's never played with us. But if you didn't know that, you wouldn't know that. It's a great group of girls, and so they make everyone feel comfortable, and they're going to help each player get the best out of themselves. So that was never even any like, oh gosh, how are we going to do this? We knew that it would work, and we had no problems with bringing those players back into or bringing Ashley into this group of players.
First game off the bat, you're playing Jersey. What was your strategy as the coach for the players?
To go and play and do what we've been trying to do. I never spoke to them really about opposition. Jersey, before we left, I was told that was going to be top medal contenders and that was going to be our toughest game in the group. And what I like about these girls, it doesn't matter if we're playing 5-year-olds or 25-year-olds, they're going to go out and play as hard as they possibly can and give everything. So strategy-wise, it was just this is how we're trying to play. We had a practice match in Bournemouth. There were some things we needed to work on from that match, and we did it in our training session the following day. But I can't, I couldn't ask for more than what these guys gave me in that first match. I think that Jersey may have been a bit overconfident going into that match, but I knew and I told Manny from watching them warm up for 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, wow, we're going to hammer this team. But, and we should have. We missed opportunities. It wasn't because we couldn't. We just missed our chances. But I love the confidence that the girls went into every match with. Every match was, we're going to go into this. Whether they felt that way or not, it's what they showed me. So I felt comfortable, and I said it many times. I'm not concerned about the attack of the other team. I'm more concerned about the attack of our team because we're missing so many chances. But with this group, we just set out to play our game. So for you can ask me that same question for all 6 matches that we played, and it will be the exact same answer. We're going to go and play football how we knew to play football.
Zakari, that first match, what were the players talking about most?
Just having each other's back and how to get the job done. I think our biggest thing was encouraging each other, which we did well. And we just made sure to build each other up because we don't want to lose the match based off of us killing ourselves. You know what I mean? So I think it was just more about being positive, and we was all just in good spirits. So it was just about hyping each other up and making sure we was all ready to achieve the same goal, which is to win.
Koa, going into the half at 2-0 up, how did you feel personally about that second half, and what were you concerned about for your teammates?
I don't know. It feels like so long ago that we played. Let me think. Okay, hold on, just give me a second. Oh, I think, like Coach Kita had said, like we weren't focused like on, this team's this, we have to mark this play and this. Like it's always been, we just play our game. But like the little bit of information we had was like, this is gonna be like one of the harder teams. So it felt like it was a huge confidence boost, like to go into the half being up. And it was like, me personally, I was then like, I was shifting my focus from like, okay, make sure that they don't get any goals, to like, how can we build on what we were doing attacking wise in the first half, and like, how can we then better that for the second half? And I think we did a good job of that. Evidently, like we scored 2 more goals and we got more opportunities to score. So I think overall it was like a good first game for us to start the tournament. And like it lifted our morale, definitely.
Coach, going into that second game, how do you control the emotions of your players? Because if they know that prior to the tournament, the first game was going to be one of the toughest games in the group, how do you keep them grounded for the second game?
So it's the same thing. We go at every team hard. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to go with the exact game plan. And they did that. So I didn't change the team. That's the first strategy. Let's build on what we done in the first match. Didn't change the team. Announced the team early enough so that everyone knew that I wasn't changing the team. And we just continued to play how we played the first match. They were a little, to be honest, the second game was a little bit tougher, not much. They came at us a little harder, so we didn't find our feet fast enough, in my opinion. But once we found them, it was steamrolling ahead. So the level and the type of football that the teams were playing was basically the same. Kick the long ball and let's hope for something. So the organization of the team was excellent on our part. And so that it didn't matter. I didn't have to keep them grounded. They kept themselves grounded. They held each other accountable, and they realized that we're here for a common goal. So I'm not gonna lie, it was probably the easiest tournament I've had to coach mentally ever.
Zakaria, 180 minutes. You guys hadn't given up a goal. Talk us through just that. I mean, you won your first match 4-0. You won your second match 4-0. Just take us through what it was like with the team after that second 4-0 win, because you hadn't given up a goal in the entire tournament.
Well, before the tournament, I already had a goal within myself to not concede. So I felt very confident. Once the second game happened, I was like, okay, cool. We're halfway there. Don't concede. A lot of my defenders, we had conversations because we all had the same goal, which wasn't to concede. I think that they had my back and I had theirs, and we was able to complete the goal easily. Well, not easily. I had to make a few saves, but I think that because we was all aiming for the same goal, which wasn't to concede, it was really good from all of us. Because it's not just me. Although I'm the goalkeeper, they was fighting hard, but then I was also having their back when I had to make a few saves.
Sure. I'm joined by my co-host, Jason Juggling J. Ford. Koa, for you, being on the field, knowing that first game was 4-0, you're up 2-0, second half of the second game. Determination, does that come into play to not give up a goal and to see how long you can go through this tournament without conceding?
Security.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think like after getting the first game under the belt, it like helped to set, I guess, the tone of what we knew we could bring to the tournament. Because like we have like played a lot of football in the past, but we've never played obviously like people from this like region or like part of the world. So like going in, we were going in blind, so we only had like the confidence in ourselves. So that after like putting that to the test and like seeing that it's not only us just like saying, oh, we're good, like we can actually come to these tournaments and compete and do well. I think it like that definitely just set a tone, and like every game that we played and every success that we had, like I just think the level just continued to rise. And yeah, like I definitely think that, like Kari said, like we all had the same goal. It was like, yeah, we made through the first game, no goals, we're making it to the second, third, fourth, and so on. So I definitely think like overall, whether you're playing, coming on, game changes, whoever, like there was definitely a level of determination, like motivation expected from everybody.
Jay, you want to jump in?
Well, first thing, sorry guys for coming in late, but hey, first things first, congratulations, champions. Congratulations, champions.
Thank you.
Coach, let's go to the coach, because coach, we had you on prior to this tour, and it was a question that I asked you, and I want to see if you have a follow-up answer to it now. Our expectations, did they meet your expectations on this tour? Because we had expectations prior.
Absolutely. I mean, they exceeded my expectations, if I'm being quite honest. I always know what these girls could bring, and they showed it both on and off the field. It was such an amazing group to be a part of, and we knew that results was what was expected from us, and I shared that with them. I let them know we're the senior women's national team, so there's nothing else besides results. And winning this tournament is the only result that the technical director wants, and that's what we have to deliver. So, again, as I said a minute ago, this was one of the easiest groups or easiest tournaments I had to coach in, both on and off the field.
Tell me something. You mentioned something just now about technical director and even being the national senior women's national teams, about results. That's quite different from previous when you had, obviously the under 21s or whatever. Always been development to get to this stage. Now that mindset changes a bit now, where we're focused a lot more on results.
Absolutely. I mean, we still have some players that's in the development phase, but these girls obviously have gone through that development phase, being an under 15 and under 17 and under 20. And now you're at the senior level. So at the senior level, it's going to be results, and they get it. So like I said, there are some that's still at the development phase within this group, but the majority is at the result phase. And so they get it. Moving forward, it's going to be about results. While we're still developing somewhat, we're not world beaters yet. So development is still a part of it, but we are result driven.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more with the women's senior national team who won gold at the Island Games. We'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this? John Barrett & Son is bringing us something fresh and exciting for the new year. Bai Antioxidant Infusion Beverage. Bai delivers the natural antioxidant benefits of the coffee fruit in glorious combination with a variety of exotic fruit flavors, with only 1 gram of sugar and 10 calories per bottle. The folks at Bai are inviting us on a world tour through these amazing flavors. Brasilia blueberry, Zambia Bing cherry, Costa Rica clementine, Malawi mango, Panama peach, Ipanema pomegranate, Kupang strawberry kiwi, and more. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
And welcome back. So let me go to you, Zakari. Game 3, you guys, you're playing Alon. Another game where you don't concede a goal. Would you consider that your 3 games in your group? Would you consider that that's what you set out to do, as you have already indicated, you did not want to concede?
Yeah. Like I said, from the beginning of the tournament, I already had that goal in mind. However, once I saw it come to life, I got more confidence. Like I said, I had to make a few more saves, but it was all with confidence. I was never scared because I trusted my teammates and they knew my goal and I knew that they wanted to help me achieve it. And like I said, with practicing, being away and in Bermuda, I felt like that was always my goal. So just seeing it come to life was exciting, in my opinion.
So let me ask, how early did you let your teammates know that you in that group stage did not want to concede a goal?
Before our first game, I was making jokes saying, 5 clean sheets and a goal. Like, I was already speaking into existence, and I'm just glad it actually happened. But before we even went on the trip, in my head, I was like, I'm not conceding. Right now, with the Somerset Women's League, I haven't conceded any goals. So in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going Island Games, I'm not conceding. Women's League, I'm not conceding. That's just my goal for this tournament and for the Summer League, and I've achieved it throughout the league and Island Games.
Sure. Now, cool. It's just put a lot of pressure on you, like. How much pressure did you feel to make sure you try to block everything, stop everything, to not allow Zakari to concede?
I think it wasn't so much okay, if you get this, it was. I think her having the goal of not conceding, it just worked right into our goal of winning the whole thing, and obviously you can win and but it's if we can win and not concede, then that's even like, so it was like going into it, we already had the positive mindset that like, I mean, regardless of if she had that go, my mindset, and I have like full confidence that everyone's mindset is like, I'm going to do everything in my power to not let this person get across me or not let this girl go me in. So it just happened to be like, oh, she spoke into existence. But I like feel like when we play in any tournament, like it's definitely a common mindset that it's like you're gonna put everything on the line to not let this person enforce me, like regardless of if the car is in my ear talking about, oh, don't let us go, don't let us go.
Jay?
Coach, I want you to speak on about communication. I mean, you've had this group now for quite a bit, especially for a few tournaments. They had a lot of trials and tribulations. But speak on the communications now when you come to this level, whereas these players have been together. It's easy now to, I won't say easy, but it's a lot easier to communicate on and off the field, especially with your players. They understand pretty much what you're expecting from them.
Yeah, communication with me has not been too much of an issue, not that I know of. With each other, though, there are some things that they had to work through as players. You know, women were sensitive, so you can't just say anything to us. And that's the same on the football field. You know, it's some players that I could go hard at, and other players I kind of have to put my arm around their shoulder. And they're learning to deal with that within themselves. So we watch games now, and we have a discussion about the matches, and players accept what I say to them. Don't think of it as criticism. Think of it as reminders. They're just reminding you of what to do on the field. It's not that you don't know how to do it. You just forgot for a minute. And I think they accepted it. And that was one of the biggest process for me on this past tour, was that in Bournemouth, we had some things we had to work through, and that can stay among us, right? But those things were worked through, and I didn't see any of that happening over in Guernsey. So communication is very important, because they kind of have to coach each other on the field. I could stand on the side and say whatever I want, but they see the game from a different angle, from a different perspective. I'm just there to kind of guide them and to make sure that everybody's happy. So we're at a really good space with our communication with the players, and I'm open. So, if something's not really working, if they want to change it, they have the freedom to do that kind of stuff on the field. But if it's not working, that's when I'll have to step in. But I wanted to speak to the no goals conceded and the defense. I actually felt sorry for my defenders. I mean, they had to play Bournemouth. They had to play every game. It was kind of like shuffling around at some point to kind of try to give them a rest. And they ran themselves through the ground. By the time we played our extra match in London, I felt so sorry for them. I couldn't cancel the match because of the relationship we're trying to build, but I felt so horrible for them. But I definitely take my hat off to my defense, because they really had a lot of work to do. Despite the scoreline, getting the shuttles was not an easy task for them by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about, now that you've won this gold medal. Next up is Nation League, and obviously the non-football people will expect you to win that as well.
That's great.
How do you keep your players level enough to make sure that you get the best out of them to get the best out of the tournament? Because there's going to be a lot of people say, "Oh, we won that tournament, we should win the next."
Absolutely, that's the jury, the public jury of whatever. These girls are not going to take that one. I love the fact that our first opponent is the Dominican Republic, an opponent that we haven't defeated yet. These island games have given these girls such a confidence. I have never felt more confident going into a CONCACAF or a qualifier or any type of match than I do right now, based off of the performances of this team. And we do know that. We knew that the under-20s coming off their tournament, we knew the eyes was going to be on us. We knew that we had to perform, and we knew that we had to get a result. And they feel the same way. I can guarantee you all these girls right now are up for that next match. I've already had tons sending me messages, "Coach, can I have the dates? Because I need to let my college coaches know. We need to have meetings. We need to have all of this stuff." So they're gung-ho. They're ready. They're ready. These girls came back. They played in the women's league. These guys have a final to play on Friday night. So they're hungry for football. When I tell you they're in such a great headspace, I love it. I love it. And in the beginning, you don't see it, but you have to trust the process. And I respect them so much because they trust it and they continue to trust the process. So we're ready. September 22nd, we just hope the entire country is behind us. We're here against the Dominican Republic. And so that's going to be an exciting match.
Jay?
No, Coach, I agree. I'm right with you. It's hard because when you talk about that court of opinion, right? The public opinion, it could be quite, they sometimes you can't make everybody happy. But what I do love is that the girls are learning to block out a lot of noise, and you're really going to get your noise obviously when you're home. But when you go into these type of tournaments, and I like the fact that we're not just playing teams in our region. We're going, like I said, 2 island games, and some of these girls experience some things for the first time, right? And that's when you start learning those different types of traits of characters of not only your players, but also how to deal with things. Because obviously, on and off the field is different in 2 regions. And let's be honest. So when we're going up to this next tournament, there's going to be a few more things off the field that's going to be a bit different. But now you can grab onto some of the things that you've experienced, and that is something that I think that is you can't take away. For the young ladies, I just please, as she said, trust the process, because you see what works and hard work. And I had asked Earl the other day, because I was like, hold on, when these girls got a break, because hold on, they've been playing and now they're playing, through the summer, and then a lot in school. So no finishes. The summer league finished up, they're racing back to school, and then I said, so who's catching the break here? But I said, they want to play.
And Jason, blocking out the noise. Let me tell you, we had an experience in the semifinals. We playing Isle of Man. Isle of Man's men's team showed up at the match. When we see these guys, they get off the bus, and we know we're gonna have Juanita, John Bird, the Twites, and maybe 2 other fans that's gonna be there for us. So listen, girls, it's gonna be a little rough today, right? They're gonna be hollering. By the end of the match, they were cheering for us. Their men's team was taking pictures with our girls' team.
Wow.
Right? So when I tell you the ability to block out the noise, because when their girls walked into the change room, they was hollering and screaming. They gave us a little clap when we went into the change room, and then we came back out, right? But when I tell you about the mindset of these players, it is something that's absolutely amazing, because I don't know if in my playing days I would have been able to block out that type, and the fields were close, so like those fans were on the touchline, and the I can't remember the semifinal or the final. It was like a whole primary school of children, plus fans. The men's team for who we played, Western Isles.
Islands, yeah.
They had all these children with all these placards and hollering. But these girls could play, like I said, in front of 5 people. They can play in front of 5,000. They're gonna play football. So blocking out the noise is something that they do so well.
Yeah, Zakari, take us through that final. I mean, the semifinal, you guys edged Isle of Man 1-0. But the final, I mean, you're up 1-0 at halftime. Take us through that final stage of that match, coming out as champions.
So halftime, in my head, I was like, okay, cool. Still have a clean sheet and we're up. I had a bit of confidence. And in my head, I was just like, keep the girl in mind. And I knew that we came so far and I didn't want to let it slip out that I just think that, just finishing it off and making sure I complete my goal. Halftime, me and some of the defenders were like, we're 45 minutes away, because they knew the goal and I knew the goal. And that's basically how it was. Just motivated and determined to not concede or let this game slip up, because we came so far and we worked so hard. All the training sessions, all the short recovery times in between games. I just felt like we was all determined to make it worth it, pretty much.
Coach, I'm going to quickly come back to you, because you celebrated the semifinal win like you had won the title that day. Take us through the emotion of winning that semifinal, and then obviously going into the final?
So for me personally, I realized that Isle of Man was the second best team in the competition. So we knew once we got past Isle of Man, whether we faced Menorca or Western Isles, that we had a shot, and I felt that within myself. So that was raw emotion on realizing that, you know what, this actually was the gold medal match that we have won. Being mindful not to put that onto my players so that they go into the match the next day, yeah, we've already won this and now we're on the back foot. Because after the first match, teams came to players, they came to just run hard and come at us. And so once that whistle went, and you know, that was a very narrow win. It was like a relief. Like, you know what? Tomorrow, we get to go and we get to do this again. And I honestly, playing back to back, as much as I felt sorry for my players, I was excited. I couldn't wait to watch them play again. I just wanted to keep watching these girls play football. So when that whistle went and I sprinted onto the field like that, that was me saying, yes, guys, like, thank you. It was almost like, thank you. So that's what that was.
Oh, okay. And Koa, your emotion at the final whistle of the final. Give us your recollection of what went through you.
I definitely remember being like just overly excited and like extremely happy and proud of myself and the team. For like Coach Kita had said, like before we had left, like we were told like we're giving her to get, like we're not giving her to like we tried it, like we were going there to get the result, and like actually having it in front of us, it was really rewarding. And like it's no surprise, like it was a lot of football, like just constantly being on your legs, and it's like to see all of our hard work like finally pay off. I guess it was really and I think overall like everyone was happy, whether like you played the whole games, whether you came on and or like whatever the case may be. It was like a lot of togetherness and unity within the team, which was really exciting. And yeah, it just felt good to like know that all those 90-minute games paid off.
Jay, I'm going to let you have the last question tonight.
So, ladies, each one of you, including Coach, what is next for you personally? And what is your next expectations for the team?
Who's going first? Me?
Let's start with the coach.
Yeah, let's go with the coach first.
All right. So me personally, obviously, I started to do my homework to have a look at our next opponents, particularly the Dominican Republic. Just watching some of their last games to see if there's anything within our group that we need to tweak, which I don't think is much. I believe our last game against them, we lost 1-0 late in the match. So, you know, definitely a team that's on par with us. And I'm actually immediately, I am working with the under 14 girls who are heading out to Antigua at the end of the summer in Dom Vickers' absence for the next week and a half. So that's what I'm doing right now. But with regards to this group, I've given them off until around the end of August. So that last week, the week of the 28th or something, we will get back in. A lot of my players obviously will be come back to school or back to the UK, which means I now invite the U20s to come up to make up the numbers, because we may have to use them. We have quite a few matches during the college season, and they're going to have to be ready to step up in the absence. I pray we don't have, but in the absence of our key players. So that's what's happening now. I'm taking a little bit of a brain break from football, but I will kick in on Friday with the under 14.
Okay, beautiful.
Zakari?
For me, it's just to pretty much try and make history again. Like Coach said, we've never beat DR. I think it's a really good feeling to like achieve each milestone. A long time ago, I was on the team that beat Jamaica, and it was a good feeling. I was on the team that won CONCACAF under 15s, and now I'm on the team that won a Girl Manuel Island Games, and I definitely want to be the team that beats DR for the first time. So my goal is to, again, try not to concede any goals and to just try my best. I'll be getting back away to school in England, and hopefully I could just work hard out there so that when I do come back with the team, we could just be focused and ready to go. Because like I said, making history is a really nice feeling.
Last but not least, Koa. Go ahead, Koa. Yeah, go ahead, Koa. Go ahead, Koa. Has the audio dropped out?
I don't know. Are you on, Koa?
She just sent me a message.
Her audio is dropped.
She said she can't hear anything.
Oh, I see. She's saying she can't hear. Okay. I'm just gonna send her a message.
Yeah. What's her goal for the next game? That her goal is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I was saying that her goal is to win and get the result, but to also play together as a team. She's still typing, but
yeah, I just sent it.
And to build on all the principles and experiences from this Island Games and previous games at that, and take it to the CONCACAF level. So I'm assuming she just wants to have the same energy within the team and continue to reach our goals together. And she just said to prove to everyone that we are good enough to compete at the highest levels. She just asked, could we hear her?
No.
Well, she's got to turn on her mic for us to hear her. Yeah, but again, Coach Keita, to you and your players, your staff, everybody that's been involved, especially parents as well. I know when you guys first started out, it wasn't the easiest thing, but getting the parents on board and getting the players on board and getting everybody to understand what the plan was and stick to that process. I know it's not been an easy road, but hey, the road is a lot more paved now. We just need to pave it some more to make the next step, especially in our region. And hopefully, that actually comes through a lot quicker than, that the struggles we've had throughout the years. And again, hopefully Bermuda actually get behind you as well. So you're getting a good job, everyone, from
my boy.
One of your coaches. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Indeed. He's been there from the start.
Yes, from the start.
From the start. Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had some things he had to deal with. He couldn't make this one, but I pray that he'll be right beside me for this next journey. Because honestly, without a lot of his insight and his knowledge of the game itself, whilst he wasn't right there physically, spiritually, and
you felt him there.
I heard him.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I appreciate about Coach fans is that no matter what, he's always going to do what it is that he has to do to make sure he supports these girls. And he's the other girl medalist, like what the match made in heaven. So, but guys, thank you very much for having us and for putting us out there. It's one thing is what we want is we want media to put us out there. We want the guys to see. I want people to hear these girls. You only heard from two. Imagine having 20 players that have this mindset. It's amazing. 20 plus players, you know, any.
Oh, she cut off at the wrong time.
Am I back?
But again, girls, congratulations. Good luck back at school. She's coming back now. She's trying to come back.
Yeah, am I in?
Yeah, you're in.
Okay. Yeah, so you know, it's I'm so excited. I had to give him a break, but I didn't want to, but I had to give him a break. But I miss the camaraderie and I miss us all on the field. So I know once we get back, we have to hit the ground running. But you know, I have to publicly thank them. It's not always been easy. In this last tournament, there were some people wanting to be starting, and player management was what was important. 5 games in 6 days, that's unheard of, and 5 tough matches. Like, a lot of people don't even know that the team we played in the finals only played 36 minutes of their semifinal against a team that was way weaker than the team that we played in the semifinals. We played the second best team in the semifinals. Didn't have any breaks. The Western Isles played in a 3-team group. They only played 2 teams. They had 2 days off. We had 1, and then they only played 36 minutes. So I mean, it's so much little pieces that people just don't know that these girls have to battle through, and I have never been prouder.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, the last 2 international events that Bermuda has participated in, the sports that get the least amount of coverage on the island were medal winners. And it's unbelievable how that happened. Women's soccer is not covered. Well, I cover it, but it is not covered generally by the Bermuda media. We had 2 swimmers dominate, and we had 3 swimmers get medals in the CAC games. Swimming is not covered when it's in Bermuda. We had archery win medals. They don't get covered in Bermuda. It's ironic that this has happened at this time to actually make not only the Bermuda public wake up, but make those media people understand that you guys or girls deserve. It's time.
Yes.
Let's get on board.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Everybody.